Life moves fast, and so should the answers to your biggest questions. Welcome to Endo Batteries Quick Connect, your direct line to expert insights. Short, powerful, and right to the point. You send in the questions, I bring in the experts, and in just 5 minutes, you get the knowledge you need. No long episodes, no extra time needed. And just remember, expert opinions shared here are for general information and not for personalized medical advice. Always consult your provider for your case-specific guidance. Got a question? Send it in, and let's quickly get you the answers. I'm your host, Alana, and it's time to connect. Today, I am so honored to welcome Professor Horace Ramon, a world-renowned surgeon and researcher in the field of endometriosis. Professor Ramon has published some of the most impactful studies we have on fertility outcomes after surgery for deep colorectal endometriosis. His work has changed how we think about the relationship between endometriosis excision surgery and pregnancy rates, especially for patients who have struggled with multiple failed IVF attempts. Please help me in welcoming Professor Horace Ramon. Why do you think doing surgery in those patients who had bowel or colorectal surgery for endometriosis had such a significant improvement in fertility? What would cause that?
But we do not know exactly. If the patient has a bowel endometriosis together with ovarian fallopian tube endometriosis, it is obvious that removing the bowel endometriosis together with restoring the fallopian tube patency and removing the ovarian cyst, of course, it improves the fertility.
Right.
You may have infertile women with bowel endometriosis, and the fallopian tubes are almost normal, and the ovaries are involved by only superficial lesions. In this case, after the surgery, I am almost sure that they will be pregnant naturally. And I think that in this case, the endometriosis impaired the pregnancy in an indirect manner because it had been demonstrated that endometriosis, like smoke, may affect the fertility at every level, beginning with the quality of the oocyte, with the mobility of the sperm, with the inflammatory ambience of the pelvis where the meeting between the spermatozoids and ovocytes occurs. So at every level, endometriosis may reduce the probability of pregnancy. And I think that cleaning the pelvis, we give a supplementary chance for natural pregnancy.
It's a remarkable finding. I feel like a lot of us wouldn't have put those two together, although I think in a lot of ways it makes sense because the more your body is fighting against itself and has a diseased state, would make sense that it's harder to become pregnant. Your body's not at its optimal.
Then there is another factor of infertility, of natural conception, which is the deep dyspareunia.
Yeah.
We do not speak enough about deep dyspareunia, but women with big rectovaginal nodule have less sex than women who are not painful. And they may be more painful during exactly the 3 days of ovulation. At that time, they reduce the frequency of sexual intercourses. They may be involved too in an improvement of natural conception rate.
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense with the inflammation that we experience oftentimes during our cycle and when we're in a flare, why that would be so much harder. And
Yes.
So eradicating that disease is so important for that conception, so your body can function normally and not have the inflammation. It makes a lot of sense from that perspective. That's a wrap for this Quick Connect. I hope today's insights helped you move forward with more clarity and confidence. Do you have more questions? Keep them coming. Send them in, and I'll bring you the expert answers. You can send them in by using the link in the top of the description of this podcast episode or by emailing contact@endobattery.com or visiting the endobattery.com contact page. Until next time, keep feeling empowered through knowledge.